All right. So you're here because you're trying to find a really great web development company. And not just anywhere, but right here in Augusta, Georgia.
Right. And you want to make sure your business has a website that really works.
Exactly. We're going to kind of break down what that looks like, especially in today's market.
And we're not just talking about a pretty website. We're talking about getting customers in the door.
Yeah. Turning those clicks into actual sales. Okay, so all of the stuff we read, it all agrees. Experience is so important.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean when you're talking about web development?
Well, anybody can build a website.
Mhm.
It's another thing to build one that actually works. And to do that, you've got to think about the user experience.
UX, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, we've all seen websites that are just a total nightmare.
Oh, absolutely.
So what does a good UX designer do? How do they make a website better?
Well, put yourself in the customer's shoes.
Okay, yeah.
You go to a website, can you find the information you need? Is it easy? Does it look good on your phone?
Right, because more and more people are on their phones these days.
Exactly. A good UX designer thinks about all of that. How people use the site, what they're looking for, and how to make it as easy as possible.
So it's not just about looks, it's about making the website work for you.
Exactly. It's all about getting the customer to do what you want them to do.
Make a purchase, schedule something, all that.
Exactly. And if you have good UX design, more people will actually follow through, which means higher conversion rates for your business.
Which equals more money.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got UX, but what about SEO?
SEO is crucial. You can have the most beautiful website in the world, but if it's buried on page 10 of the Google results...
No one's ever going to find it.
Exactly.
It's like that tree falling in the forest.
Exactly. And for businesses in Augusta, we have to think about local SEO.
Okay, so what's local SEO?
So it's making sure that when someone in Augusta Googles, like, best pizza, your restaurant actually shows up.
Okay, I got you. So your website actually pops up.
Right. So you need a web development company that knows SEO, and specifically local SEO. And that'll drive more traffic to your website, which hopefully means more customers for you.
Okay, so we've got UX, SEO, anything else? What about their portfolio?
Oh, the portfolio.
Yeah.
So important.
Right.
You want to see what they've actually done.
So don't just judge a book by its cover.
Right, exactly. Look at their past work.
Yeah.
And see if they're actually good at what they do. Look for signs of good UX design, like we talked about. Does the layout make sense?
Yeah. Is it easy to use?
Exactly. Look at the types of businesses they've worked with, too. Have they worked with anyone in your industry?
So you're saying their portfolio can tell you a lot about their experience?
Oh, absolutely. You wouldn't go to, like, a heart surgeon if you needed brain surgery.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, so speaking of experience, let's talk about communication.
Right. So even if you have the most talented web developers in the world, if they can't communicate...
It's not going to go well.
Exactly. You need a company that actually listens to you.
And understands your vision.
Right. And keeps you updated throughout the process. That's super important.
Absolutely. So communication is key. Okay, now let's talk about something that can be a little uncomfortable.
Pricing.
Yeah, pricing.
Of course, budget is always a consideration.
Of course.
Right. It's tempting to just go with the cheapest option.
Sure.
But like with most things in life, you get what you pay for.
Right, it's a balance. Trying to find that sweet spot where you're getting good quality, but also staying within, a reasonable budget.
Right. And don't be afraid to just ask about pricing up front.
Mm.
What does it cost?
Yeah, get it all out in the open.
Exactly. See if they do fixed bids, hourly rates, or, maybe something in between.
Yeah, there are a lot of different pricing models.
And make sure they're upfront about what's included.
Yeah, no hidden fees. You don't want any surprises later on.
Right. Like, oh, by the way, this is going to cost you an extra $5,000.
Exactly. So, transparency is important. You said that earlier. And you know what else can tell you a lot about a company?
What's that?
How they communicate, even before you've hired them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How quickly do they respond to your emails? Do they seem interested in working with you?
Right. Are they actually easy to get a hold of? That's so important.
Absolutely. So you said consultations are important. What are some good questions to ask during a consultation?
Don't be afraid to get specific.
Yeah.
Don't just ask general questions. Ask about your business, your industry.
Okay, like what? Give me an example.
Well, say you're in a really niche industry, right? So ask them, how would you approach, SEO for a business like mine.
Right, something really specific to your situation.
Exactly. And really listen to their answer. Do they actually know what they're talking about?
Right, are they giving you real solutions or just like, yeah, yeah, we can do that. We're the best.
Exactly. And that'll tell you a lot about, whether they're a good fit for you.
Gotcha. Okay, so, in our research, we came across this web development company here in Augusta, DBL07, I think?
Yeah, DBL07. They seem to be doing some really interesting things.
Right. So they had this one project. It was an e-commerce website for a local business.
Right.
And from what we read, it sounds like their sales went way up after the new website launched.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
So what did DBL07 do? Was there like a secret sauce?
Well, it sounds like they really focused on the user experience.
Right, UX, making it really easy for people to buy stuff.
Exactly. And they know their SEO, too.
Yeah.
They did a lot of work to make sure that website showed up in search results.
So it's a combination of things working together.
Exactly. And from what I've read, their communication is great.
Okay, so that's important too.
Yeah, they're very transparent, keep their clients updated.
Right, that's what you want.
Definitely.
Okay, but of course, DBL07, they're not the only web development company in Augusta.
Right. There's no shortage of options.
So, before you make a decision, what are some of the things you should think about?
Well, think about your specific needs, your budget. How involved do you want to be in the process?
Yeah, some people want to be, really hands-on. Others just want to hand it off.
Exactly. And don't just jump at the first company you find.
Yeah, shop around a bit.
Right. It's like buying a car.
Or, I don't know, a house. This is a big decision.
Exactly. You want to make sure you're getting what you pay for.
Okay, so say you've talked to a few companies, gotten some proposals, you're ready to make a decision. What then? What are the next steps?
Before you sign anything, make sure you understand the timeline. How long is this going to take? And what about ownership of the website?
Yeah, who owns what at the end of the day? That's important.
Right. And what about ongoing maintenance and support? What happens if something breaks?
Right. What if you need updates?
Exactly. You don't want to be left high and dry.
And a contract, right?
Yes. Always get everything in writing. Make sure it outlines the work, the payment, everything.
That protects both you and the company, right?
Exactly. So everyone is on the same page.
It's like peace of mind, knowing that you're covered.
Exactly.
But, okay, before we get to contracts, how do you know if a company is, really invested in your success?
That's a good question. I would say look at their approach to ongoing support.
Okay, yeah.
Are they going to be there after the website launches?
Right. So it's not just like, see you later, good luck.
Right. Will they host the website? Do they offer security updates? What about training?
Yeah, because things change so fast online.
Exactly. A website that isn't maintained, it's like...
A storefront with the lights out.
Exactly.
No one wants to go in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. UX, SEO, their portfolio, communication, pricing, contracts, even ongoing support.
It's a lot.
It is. But, at the end of the day, choosing a web development company, it's an investment.
Absolutely. Yeah. In your online presence, which is really an investment in your business.
Exactly. And, maybe you already have a website,
right,
but it's just not doing what you want it to do.
Right.
What then?
Well, a lot of web development companies, they can do redesigns.
Ah.
So they take your existing website and they can kind of, fix it up.
Modernize it a bit.
Exactly. Make it look better, work better, all of that.
Cool. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I'd say don't rush into anything. Really think about your business goals.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Shop around, get a feel for different companies.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, trust your gut.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today. But remember, in today's world, your website, it's like your online storefront. So what kind of first impression is yours making?